Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? I am just typing in a couple of quick notes here before we get into it. While I'm doing that, I definitely want to thank every single person, and I cannot say every single person's name, but every person that reached out, said happy birthday last week. Have still continued to say happy birthday and just mention things like I am super appreciative of everyone that bothered to take the time to let me know that you were thinking of me and to wish me well on the birthday front. So, with that being said, we should be live on all the platforms, which means we can get this party started now. I might be putting my sweater on sometime in between here, but I definitely wanted to say this has been probably one of the funnest birthday years to come so far. I've definitely had a lot of birthday festivity weeks, weekends, months, all the things, and people that are obviously my good friends, close friends, whether we're even still friends today or not, can attest to having a good time. If I choose to do something publicly and share it and get out of my own comfort zone and invite people, so getting beyond that fear of rejection, um, and this is all totally winding into the birthday epiphanies. So things that I realize, I definitely enjoy celebrating my birthday, and I totally challenge all the other lovely areas in the world, as well as just people in general, that if birthdays are hard to you, one, you're not alone. Two, it totally makes sense for it to be a little bit hard. It is not like an effortless thing to be in a position where you either have folks around you that um, either one are matching your energy, or two, overgivers in the sense of maybe they're showing up as that okay friend or the strong friend for you, and they are doing the most to try to ensure that you have a great birthday instead of you taking ownership of you having a great birthday. And in having this great birthday, a couple of things to look at is one, you wouldn't have a birthday if your parents didn't choose to have you. For some folks, they're like, well, I'm not really that pressed or committed to that. Totally up to you, to each his own. For me, I definitely, oh, this whole little extra phone over here is like trying to show me stuff I'm not trying to see. Your parents did bring you here. Whatever your relationship is like with them, maybe this is the time of year that you do find yourself like really winding back or exploring, like, what does that mean? How does that look? What can you do if they're still here? What can you not do? But the fact that you're still alive today, I challenge you to give a level of appreciation for the fact that they did make the choices they made and now you're here. That process of you getting here and where you're at today, yeah, I'm sure there's some therapy, some things to talk about and discuss. But in the meantime, you're here, you're celebrating it. Why not celebrate it? Which looks like being able to grieve and give at the same time. So, grieving past versions of yourself, the fact that you're not still the same age that you are. So, if this was a year where maybe you left your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever the age is, yeah, you're not going to be that age anymore. Each year only gets one. You can tell people you're repeating ages all you want to, but in real life, you only have the current moment, anyways, and the year that you're currently in to choose how you want to go about making it great for you. So, if there's this much space in your heart, feel free to give a little gratitude to your parents because they did bring you here. If you don't know them, send them that, ethereal love for whatever. If they're not here, thank them for having done their job to bring you here before they weren't. Moving forward with that, I don't know if you guys noticed, and this I found very entertaining as I chose the activities for what I wanted to do for this birthday season, for this Aries season for myself. I definitely kept coming back to this point of looking at what do I want to do? Historically, as a strong friend, recovering strong friend, and, recognizing that tendency to want to please other people and make them happy, there is this desire to create and do things that other people are going to want to do, even if it doesn't serve me or doesn't serve like you, if you're the person that's currently like putting yourself in the seat. When I would do that, and to some extent, even this last birthday wasn't that different in that sense. What I would find happening is I would find things to do that I thought other people would want to do, even if it wasn't something I particularly cared for. When we would go do the things, I would work so hard and this is historically, work so hard to make sure everybody else had a great time so that when they left, what they would say is, man, she gave a great party, or we had the best time ever. To be fair, today, at this point in my life, if you're spending time with me and I was able to get beyond myself, get out of my own feelings, get out of my own fears of rejection and fears of people not being interested in things that I'm interested in, which would now mean, oh, maybe we're not as in alignment as I thought we were, which is another level of rejection that can be hard around monumental birthdays and just times a year where you're reevaluating what you're doing in life anyhow. Still choosing to decide what you want to do, put it out there, give yourself that space and permission to change your mind as it makes sense and go forward with it will allow you the opportunity to learn so much more about yourself and the people that you have around you. Not that I don't I definitely still care that people have a great time if I am choosing to have an event. If you are coming to one of my actual paid events, the whole purpose is for you to have an experience that you get to walk away from, that you walk away and something's different. Even being on these Tea Talks, if you join on live, if you listen to it later, my intention is to offer and give you something that either you already have the capacity for anyways, or an opportunity to remind you of something that's available to you also. Each of the events, I used to work so hard that I never actually used to have fun. And I can remember specifically on my 30th birthday, I don't think maybe 1-2 people max might have known that I was actually pregnant. But I chose to, get some tables, pop some bottles, stuff like that, even though I couldn't even drink. So it's like I would pay for these things so that other people could totally have this capacity to, so they could have a good time, so they could have fun. We danced all night. It was great. Only maybe 1 or 2 people noticed that my drinks always seemed lighter than everyone else's, to even come over and ask or inquire, like, hey, are you not drinking? And I might have slipped the secret out then, like, yeah, I'm actually not, because I'm pregnant. So, but I still wanted to have fun. I still wanted to do things that I knew that most of the people that I knew would definitely be interested in doing. And I had a great time. I had fun. But just in this moment, thinking of the ideal that I would choose to host something and be so giving that I was willing to do stuff that I wouldn't even be able to benefit from or participate in to some extent. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you genuinely want to do and you want to overgive and overshare. And maybe it's not over. Maybe it's just the right amount because you filled yourself up so much that it's really nothing for you to do something that other people enjoy, that you don't have as big of an interest or vested space to even do it, but it matters to them and you want to show them your appreciation for the connection and the relationships that you built, that you're willing to do that. Keynote to take away. Decide for your birthday if you're about giving to others that they get to have a great time and experience, or if you are solely, absolutely selfishly looking at just making sure you have a great time. Both of those can still include other people enjoying themselves, being happy, having a great experience, and none of it has to be ill or nasty or at anyone else's expense. If you notice around your birthday, you start getting a bunch of emails, and thanks to like Facebook, apps like that, they will let people know when your birthday is. So folks that maybe, not for any reason other than life is lifing, may not have recalled, like, oh, yeah, I really like this person or care about this person. Facebook will remind you that their birthday is coming up. They get to reach out, they get to show their appreciation. Even if you guys don't connect later, it's still there. Companies that you've done business with, they send you emails too. Another hack or thing to take into consideration when you're looking at your birthdays is to structure your birthday time season in a way that allows you not to take advantage of, but to indulge in the things that you've already invested in. So, for instance, if you sign up to different restaurants, you've used different services, they all start sending you emails. And if they've got a discount or like offering something free, now you get to look at and you get to plan your time for your reevaluation of how you want to do this next 365 or 64 point whatever, however many days, how you want to do the next year of your life. And you can look at how you want to start it off. People will sometimes choose just the calendar years, maybe a fiscal year, or maybe migrated to a space of taking every quarter to be its own year within itself. That 12 weeks is a year, and reevaluating what happens, what gets to stay, what gets to go. Your birthday is another milestone or marker that you can totally use as a means of regulating what happens in your life and how that goes. So if you're looking at that and you're looking at the emails that come in, letting you know, because they have amazing email marketing systems, that they're thinking of you on your birthday. I intentionally structured on my actual birthday to go to various different places that I wanted to be at so I could receive what I've already invested money into anyways. I spent money with the companies. So when they send the emails out, I was like, yep, I'm definitely going to Krispy Kreme, Starbucks. And I think BJ's, you guys will probably see this as I have started to share the videos with my team so we can put together some cool stuff. Because when I'm in the moment, another thing that probably doesn't translate as well, to not find myself overthinking, what I will do is I may take the pictures if I remember and choose not to share them immediately so that I don't lose the opportunity of being in the moment with the folks that are there, that I don't miss the chance to connect closely. Better yet, that I don't miss the opportunity to recognize who I haven't been very close with so I can do a better job at having that relationship be more important to me, more significant, and creating a deeper connection. So you guys are going to see, in the upcoming slides and things, and I mean slides like what I'll be sharing on social media, of course, of a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of drinks, and a whole bunch of people that I really am like overly ecstatic that I got to spend time with them. And I mean, each and every person, the people I spent time with individually, the folks I spent time with in groups with other people, the folks that like were legit there for every single thing that I planned. And they literally only came because I wanted to go. Now, they messed around and started having fun afterwards, but they were literally only going because I said, this is what I'm doing for my birthday. And they're like, well, if that's what you're doing, that's what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, all right, over here worried about being rejected. And then boom, people get a chance to shower you and show how much they really do care, how much of an impact you really do make on their lives by being able to show up for you. Now, what that also looks like is allowing people to be able to show up for you. I definitely have historically made it a little bit harder for folks to previously be able to show up and give to me, because not being in a space, again, all of my strong friend energy, not being able to receive, allowed me to stay in my quote unquote masculine and being in charge and in control of things. Like if I can reject people doing nice things for me, that means I have control over things. It's such a funny facade. All it means is I'm missing opportunities for deeper connections, and I'm actually robbing people of the opportunity to show me what level of care they do actually have for me, while someone else that probably doesn't have any is like, oh, cool. Well, if she's not accepting it anyways, I don't even have to show up. So now it takes that much longer to weed out people that maybe don't care. Circling back around to these companies that send you emails really quickly. And this, take it how you want to. And people that are in the field that are also a part of my audience, I appreciate you all, because I definitely need all my fronts. I need my teeth. But I was just thinking, and I would love for someone to like take me up on this offer. But for the amount of money that we spend on dentists or like other professionals, hell, even therapists myself. So maybe this is even talking to me, but I'm absolutely talking about dentists right this minute, or orthodontist even. I appreciate the happy birthday email. I think I will more appreciate, can you put a tooth on the side for me? Like, can I redeem a crown like in the future, or get, 50% off the crown plus another 50 or for whatever my insurance does? So that way I really feel like you do appreciate me and that I am important and I am special. Like, if I get crowns around my birthday, then maybe that means we get to maintain our working relationship. Just putting the thought out there. So circling back to, and not that dentists aren't real people, but people that are in relationships with you because they choose to be. Around your birthday is a great time for people to show up for you. If you allow yourself to be so worried and scared of rejection, you won't actually have a chance for someone to let you know how significantly you have impacted their lives. Believe it or not, a lot of us impact a lot of people's lives, and we never really know the depth of how much we do, because we don't give ourselves permission to slow down, stop, receive the compliment, take the time to really get to enjoy when someone says, hey, I got this for you, or I want to take you out to do this, or I just want to spend time with you, or the hours on the phone, or whatever the things are. When we don't give ourselves permission to really embrace that, we miss recognizing that because we chose to be ourselves, and the more authentically we choose to show up as ourselves, the more consistently other people get to choose to continue to relate with us, because they're relating with the version of us that is the best version at that time. Our best version of ourselves is 100% dependent on the choices and the actions that we make. There is also a huge benefit to spending time alone around your birthday. Now, I have definitely packed and loaded up like massive days back to back to back. I was doing the thing. I was out here in these streets having a great time, but having a great time doing things that I wanted first and giving myself the space to keep rechecking in with, if I went by myself, would I still want to do this? And the answer was yes for every single thing that I did. So the fact that I got to share those experiences with other people was great. What that also is looking like is I will be by myself and will be planning time alone so that I can not only reflect on what that experience was like, but that I can give myself the time to calm down from the overwhelm of all the excitement. It's like going on a fun ride or going to Disneyland and being super hyped and like amped all day, and then like the crash. And instead of having a massive crash, this is the way I choose to do it. The time alone is giving me the chance to rebalance out, renormalize where I'm at and how I want to show up and function. Beforehand, there's also a nice benefit to spending a little bit of time alone. So again, you can take the time to get to know you in this year and this version of your life, and then how do you want to show up. You can take the time to grieve the things that you'll be leaving behind, while also giving life and speaking into your own self as to what you're going to be doing moving forward. That's really going to allow you the opportunity to have this next year be the best year, and that every year gets to be the best year of your life, because you're choosing to do so, and you're choosing to do so from a space of fully embodying what works for you in the moment and what's going to allow you to have the best experience of yourself. So the people that get to be touched by your presence and your space also have that same opportunity. Let's see. There's some other birthday epiphanies. There's definitely some more, and there are, I would say they're more private conversation type of epiphanies, like learning your own limit. I know some folks like to go out and they're like, oh, I'm gonna ultimately, instead of doing some self-maintenance or some soothing, they're like literally about to go out and like destroy themselves with either substances or staying awake or doing physical activities, like whatever the things are, because they believe that's going to be the most funnest. Now, if it is, then more power to you. Keep it going. Make sure you do it safe. You don't cause any harm to anyone else. But there's this other space of doing stuff that you believe should be what you're supposed to do because that's what people say you're supposed to do. Like, I don't know who these people are, but even if they're real folks that are calling and telling you you ought to, you should, I'm politely giving you the permission slip to tell them to mind their business. And when you're ready to engage, you will absolutely re-invite them back to add their contributions if you ask for their opinion on what you should be doing or how you should go about doing it. But this is your time to truly focus on you. This is your time to give yourself that opportunity to really show up how you want to show up, to be received how you want to be received, to present yourself or this year's version of you in the way that's going to be supportive towards the goals that you've set and the commitment to the routine that's going to help you get there, the folks that you want in your corner as you go on this path, and being okay with understanding everything doesn't get to stay the same all the time, and that's okay too. So, first birthday epiphany, definitely sign up for sure to any email list or people that have email campaigns because they usually offer stuff on people's birthdays. They even offer stuff on theirs. Plan your time out on how you want to spend it. When and do you even want to spend time with other people? Do you need to spend time by yourself? What cycle of doing that will be beneficial to you? Is there a possibility that you may also need to just take time off from all of your regular routine so that you can have a moment to reevaluate what's happening? So, do you need a vacation from work? Do you need a vacation from your regular duties as, whatever those roles are? And I'm not saying like you take a break and go do the complete opposite, but giving yourself time to reevaluate what's working, what's not working, and how you want to move forward so that people can also show up and appreciate you and share their love and kindness with you. Hence, again, I am so grateful for all the people that reached out, showed up, or we even maybe still have plans in the makings for celebrating literally my existence. And that's what you're doing when you're celebrating people's birthdays. You're celebrating the fact that they're here. Not all the stuff that happened before, but the fact that they're here. And if they're inviting you to spend time with them on their birthdays, you as the recipient of the invitation, understand that that might have actually taken quite a bit for that person to reach out and do it because they may or may not have been, exploring like what level of relationship do we have. The person whose birthday it is, give yourself the space to get comfortable with giving other people the choice to show up or not show up. And while you personally may have asked, allowing it to not be so personal that you now have all these stories swimming around in your head. Allow it to be more of a space of, I made the invitation. The folks that are available will be available. The ones that are not will not. And it isn't personal, something to take note of. But in the future, if that person's interested or willing to be around you, you'll find out and they'll show you anyway. So no need to make your birthday the time where you like are sad or like just overwhelmed with grief and to be fair, I do cut people off around about this season, but it also lines up with like the quarter. Like the first quarter just ended. This is a great time to reevaluate anyways. I feel fortunate that my birthday lines up with where the quarters are at. So it's already a natural transition of, just before that, the end of the year, beginning of the year, what do those changes look like? The first quarter, what do those changes look like? And being comfortable with continuing that rolling. And also, if your birthday doesn't fall in those time frames, use that as another time and a means to definitely explore what things need to change. This last little sprinkle. I know that most Aries folks, if you're anything like me, Historically, I would absolutely stop being friends with people after a certain point. If they didn't show up for me around my birthday, I'm like, oh, okay, well, let the petty games begin. Thank goodness for maturity. I don't really do that anymore. I don't show up that way. It's easier to actually just take the response for what it is and move along so that I can continue planning and enjoying what is available. That holding space of being petty, well, they didn't show up for me, so I'm not showing up for them. Like, okay, how is that helping you in your career, your businesses, the relationships that are important to you? Is that helping you or hurting you? Because now you got to carry around that extra weight to not show up if you really genuinely wanted to. So, just a suggestion. Feel free not to be petty, but take note of what's working and not working for you. Take note of all the people that did show up and let them receive the fullness of you being present with them. They said, I have time. It works in my schedule. I totally am interested in the thing, or I just like you so much that I'm willing to show up. Those people deserve, and I don't think people deserve all the time, but those people do genuinely deserve to experience the best version of you because they did show up for you. If there's that onesies or twosies that were like, oh, I just want something to do. Okay, great. But they still showed up for you, even if they just wanted something to do. Give them, if while you're grieving the loss of the people, things, or stuff that changes for this next year, give your attention, your love, your appreciation, your care to the folks that did show up, to the ones that said, I want to make sure that that, I see you. It doesn't even have to be any deeper than that. So I hope that you all have had an amazing weekend because I absolutely have. And you guys haven't even begun to see the half of it. Like, I did all the yoga, took care of like real stuff like buying new tires, and at the same time managed to eat great food, keep great company, be physically active, as well as laugh, dance, giggle. Like I said, eat good food, have good drinks, see people I haven't seen in a while, meet new people, and really get to enjoy the company of all that showed up. And I get to decide how I want to do the rest of this 45th year of life and what it's going to look like. So I hope you all have an amazing day. And while your birthday may not have been my birthday, except for the like 7 to 8 plus people that I did meet who's are, I hope you all enjoyed my birthday as much as I did, and that you enjoy this Aries season as much as I shall be in creating the new things, being comfortable with pouring into the stuff that feels good and right for me, and being able to say no to the stuff that doesn't. Not personal, no hard feelings, but just showing up for what's going to light me up, ignite me, because when I'm excited, then that means I can show that much more energy and care to other things and people. So please take that with you. Show up for the stuff that feels good for you. Give it all you got available, and appreciate the people that show up with you and support you, just like I appreciate all of you all. So have a great day, and I shall see y'all soon.